He's going to have a lot to write today. So I want to start really where I left off last week. I think I'm up to the first parak of Rus. For those of you that are home, if you have a Sefer Rus, a Megillah Rus, you might want to do that. I understand that there may be some difficulty this week with the uploading and the downloading or whatever they call it. So just please bear with. If you have a Sefer Rus, it might be easier to do it that way. In any event, we are working towards the filling up a chesed sheet because we said an additional name for Sefer Rus is also called Sefer HaChesed. And when I asked the question last week, what was it about Rus and Boaz, of all the people in the world, that it was Kadosh Baruch who chose these two people to be the father and the mother of royalty, the father and mother of leading to David HaMelech and the Mashiach. And we suggested that if we took a look at the name of, quote, the nickname that they give to Sefer Rus, it's called Sefer HaChesed. And we're working towards Rita Gruber is keeping a list with Boaz and Naomi and Rus on it. And whenever she feels that there is a active chesed that's being spoken about, she's going to jot it down. And hopefully at the end of this year, she will share with us some of her jottings. Okay? All right, so let's start. I ended up first chapter. I want to start Pasuk 12 of the first chapter.
You didn't do that when the policemen were killed at the Capitol.
What? Who? Police? Capitol? What? Okay.
Sorry.
Right. We spoke about when a person is wants to convert. We spoke about halacha is that they're dissuaded 3 times, and after the 3rd time, and the person still insists that they want to, they're interested in converting, that at that point, the trying to dissuade them, discourage them, we leave off with it. So the 3rd time is Pasuk 12. When Naomi now says to both Orpah and Rus, Shovna v'nosai, please go back where you came from. Lechna ki zarkanti miyos liyish. Because if you're staying with me, because I have no children, and there has to be some yibum involved. Naomi is saying she's an old woman now, that she no longer is capable of conceiving children. Marty yeshli tikva, right? For when even if you think there's some hope for me, come yisi halayli ish kamilati vonim. It's impossible for me to have a husband tonight. I had to give birth. Okay.
I don't know. I didn't catch anything.
Who doesn't know?
There it is.
Oh, okay. Friends on the phone. Halahita saberno. If in fact I do have children, to replace Machlo and Chilion who died. Remember, Rus is without a husband, and at this point, so is Naomi, and they're without children. So there is some element of Yibum involved. Halahita saberno. Are you going to sit around now and wait for them to be grown, to become of marriageable age? Other sheyibdolu. Halahain tiageno. Okay, all right. Nabilti ayos liyish albenosai ki marli miyod bikem ki yotze biyad Hashem. Okay, it's better now that you go on your way. You go on and you rebuild your own lives. Right? This is the last attempt to dissuade them from going with Eretz Yisrael and to convert. All right.
They were still in Moab at the time.
They were at the border. Okay, all right. Yotzavi Yad Hashem. The final reason she uses is she feels that Rus and Orpah should not be hanging around, so to speak, with with Naomi because Kimarli Hashem, Kiyotzabi Hashem. I've been all these things that have happened to me. I've been being punished by Hashem, and you don't need to be with me. All right. All right. Batisena colon bativkeno. Okay. Batisena, a very, very interesting word. It's chaser aleph. Batisena is usually spelled with an aleph in it. Batisena colon bativkeno. And again, are we talking here plural or singular? Look at the language. You're a Hebrew teacher. Rita, look at the language. Batisena colon bativkeno. How many of them cried? Both? You sure? So what Chazal say about Tisena Kol Choser Aleph that only Rus cried, but Tishak Orpa Lachamosa and Orpa kissed her mother-in-law, Rus Dafkaba, right? So Rus was at a higher level of wanting to convert, and here's the proof. Orpa, really according to Chazal, the Choser Aleph in the word Batisena means that Orpa, in fact, at this point felt that she couldn't go on any longer, and what should we call it? She leaves. But Rus Dafkaba. Okay. Chazal tell us what happens after Orpa leaves. What happens after Orpa leaves Rus? She's got to make her way back through the desert again. Remember, we tracked that desert thing, how they went through, long trip, 2 weeks. So Chazal say on the way back, she was attacked by and raped by a number of men. Okay? And from this relationship of her being raped on the road, her grandson will be Goliath. Okay? Her grandson will be Goliath. And ultimately, Rus and Orpah are due to meet again through their grandchildren, David and Goliath, which is the story we'll get to. Goliath. David and Goliath, all right? Okay. But Tomer, one more chance she takes, but this is not from a religious perspective, because this is the fourth attempt already to get Rus to go back. But Tomer, hine shoba yevim teich ala moavi Eloheha, shuvi acharei yevim teich. Okay? Return after your sister-in-law. Don't send her out in the desert all alone. You have some responsibility to her. Okay, look what's going to happen to her. But Rus, again, as we know, the story did. All right? At this point, Rus's conversion is accepted. Okay, or is wanting to be, whether it was a formal mikvah. It's a good question. I don't know, Bob, where the mikvah was. Okay, but at this point, Ruth's conversion has been accepted because she was 3 times told to return in that. Okay? I have here in my notes, both Naomi and Ruth will become paradigms of chesed. Not only will Ruth agree to convert, which she's doing here, what other obligation is she taking upon herself at this point? Besides Torah and mitzvot, Malchut Shemayim, from a human perspective, what is she taking on herself right here, right now, Bob? Exactly correct. Naomi is an older woman, okay? So she's taking on the responsibility of not only caring for herself in a time of famine, but also taking on responsibility for caring for her mother-in-law. So that should actually go down on the chesed sheet, right? Okay, it is already. Right.
Just perhaps when Ruth tells, or Naomi tells Ruth to go and bathe before Boaz, maybe that's the victim.
Maybe, but I doubt it. It wasn't done for that purpose. It was done to beautify herself up, to perhaps whatever. Okay? All right. But Tomer Rus, and Rus responds, Al tifki evi, don't beg me. The word tifki also is pega, gimel ayin. What's a pega? Pega is a wound, right? So Rus is saying even more, don't continue to wound me, Yozvech, by begging me to leave you, or shuv mi acharayach, to leave you, ki el asher telchi eleich, one of the most famous statements now in all of Tanakh. Also, Christianity, Lahabdil, has also accepted this particular statement. Okay, where you go, I will go. Where I live, or where I spend my evenings, all in, I will go too. Amech ami, Elohayach Elohoi. Right? So what is Russ saying here? We can take these words apart. Okay? We said the word halacha is there. Halacha means a way and a way to go, and that's the halacha. It is a way to go. So she's accepting telech, she's accepting the halacha. Amech ami, she's saying, I accept all the halachas. Ben Adam lechavero. Okay? Lokayach lokai, I accept all the halachas. Ben Adam lamokom. A different